Hi guys. In this video, we'll be actually talking about fractions and place value. We all have studied place value before, all the units, tens, thousands, hundreds, and on, 10,000 and stuff. But in this video, we'll be talking about how do, how does place value work in decimal number. Okay, let's proceed. So we all know what place value is. This 235, 5 stands for ones, that is 10 units. 3 stands for tens and 2 stands for hundreds. All right. That means that we've got 200s, 3 tens, and 5 ones. All right. So how do we usually solve a sum which consists of a decimal and we need to add it, okay, or subtract it, like. So we've got 10.8 and we've got 5.34. Now here, as you can see, 3, 4, and only 8. So at times, people usually consider it a problem and consider something like, something tricky or stuff, but it's nothing like that. 10.8 plus 5.34, what we'll do is we'll simply place a 0 at the places where there were no numbers, just to make it a little clear and not complicated. 4 plus 0 is 4, 8 plus 3 is 11. 1 goes carry, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 1 plus 0 is 1. We'll simply place the decimal over here, okay? What's the main function of a decimal? It actually acts as a separator. From on the left side, it represents the whole numbers, and on the right side, it represents the decimal places. Okay, and it's actually there and it divides it separates the whole numbers and the decimal places. See, that simple question that I was discussing before is solved over here quite simply. Then we've got a minus question, a subtraction question, 7.122 less 3.410. 2 less 0 is 2, 2 less 1 is 1. And as you know, we cannot take out 4 from 1, so we obviously will borrow one number and then we take one number from 7, making 7 6 and making 1 11. 11 less 4 is 7, 6 plus 3 is 3, and then this decimal will be carried and will be brought down over here. Okay, now let's talk about, like previously here we talked about how to solve questions of subtraction and addition using decimals. Now let's talk about what's the main function of place value and how does it work in a decimal question. So over here, let's forget this side. First, let's forget this side of the decimal here. Let's talk about over here, 2,654. 4 stands for units, 5 stands for tens, 6 stands for hundreds, and 2 stands for thousands. Now, if we talk about the right side of the question, we've got a decimal and we've got 3 and 4. Now, see what happens over here. This is what's the main function? It exceeds multiply by 100. It keeps on increasing on and multiply 10 on and on. So here what happens is it reduces 10 by 10%. For example, if it's increasing on the left side, it will be decreasing on the left side. So over here, this 3 is 1/10 of this. Okay. And then, sorry. Yeah. So what happens over here, if we talk about how decimals are separated and how it's actually operated in a way, it's like that thousands, hundreds, tens in unit. However, this side starts from tens and it works in the opposite way because numbers reduce from here, as you all know, and numbers increase from this side on and on. So what happens? It starts from tens, then hundreds, then thousands, then 10,000, and on and on. So what's the place value here? 2,600, 5 tens, 4 units, point, 3 1/10s, and 3 100s. Okay, so from here it works like tens and hundreds. Okay, 400, 6 tens, 8 units, 9 tenths, and 200s, as I told you. Here it starts from tens and it keeps on reducing on and on. More distribution. Okay, 2000s, 300s, 5 tens, 4 units, and 3 tenths. Then 5,700, 8 tens, 9 ones, and 7 tenths. Similarly, if there was one more number over here, let's imagine 2 was over here, then we'll write 2 hundredths, 2 100ths. Okay. Okay, the number behind the decimal has the value of tenth. Okay, so basically what is the function of a decimal? It acts as a separator, separating the whole numbers and the decimals. On the left side are the whole numbers and they keep on increasing as we move more towards the left. However, if we move towards the right, they keep on decreasing. Okay, here, as you can see, this 5 is in the ones place. Okay, if we talked about this one and there was a number over here, so that will be considered 1/10 of this number. So tens, hundreds, thousands, units, tens. It works in the opposite directions. Units, tens, hundreds, and after the decimal, tens, hundreds, if there was one more number, thousands. Okay, let's talk about the expanded form version over here. We've got 100, 20 tens, 6 units, point, 5 tens, and 300s as given over here. Okay, now we're adding 10.80 plus 5.34. Oops, sorry. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 1 is 1. And similarly. See you all in the next video, everyone. Goodbye.